Hello everyone, it's that time again where we take a look at another weapon as part of my Battlefield 3 weapon guide video series, and today's featured weapon is going to be the PKP Pecheneg, which is a support LMG that's unlocked pretty early on in the support grind at just 60,000 support score. So let's get straight into this guide and take a look at the general stats of the PKP Pecheneg. The power figure comes in at high and it's amongst the highest damage LMGs out of the support kit. In the recent patch, the PKP's damage was adjusted, giving it an extra 2 damage points on its long range figure, which makes it on par with the M240B and the M60E4. Talking about the patch, another feature of the PKP which was adjusted was its recoil profile. The recoil has been made significantly lower than before the patch, giving it a lower vertical value and an increased sensor speed. Despite this though, the recoil does remain pretty moderate, and seeing as I've only used this weapon post-patch, I can't really imagine what it was like previous to the patch. One of the main drawbacks I found when using this weapon was it had quite an intrusive recoil pattern. In trying to use this weapon in full auto, at least when not deployed somewhere with the bipod, I'd find I'd end up shooting towards the clouds in just a couple of shots. As for the other stats though, the capacity comes in to 100 rounds, which is amongst the highest magazine size of the support weapons. The rate of fire comes in pretty slow at 600 rounds per minute, with just the M60's 580 rounds per minute being slower. So unfortunately I'm not a big fan of this weapon. I know a couple of people get some good scores with the PKP, but out of the support kit I think it's one of those weapons that's outshined by some of the other weapons. Even with that increased damage figure at long range and the decreased recoil, I still find this weapon pretty crazy to use, and I was finding myself just fighting to tame that recoil, just hoping to land a shot on target. But let's move on and take a look at my recommendations of attachments for configuration of your PKP. One of the first things you'll want to do with this weapon is slap some kind of optic to relieve you of those iron sights. When aiming down sights with this weapon, it's just as if someone's plonked a shoebox in front of your face, with there being a large square between you and your target. Thankfully you don't have to wait too long until you get hands on an optic. We've got the 3.4 times magnification of the PKA scope after just 10 kills. Then as you progress you get the PKS holographic sight and then the Cobra red dot sight, which I've put down as my optic of choice. That larger magnification of the PKA can be handy for taking out those long range targets, but I found the lower magnification and overall slimmer profile of the Cobra helped kind of eliminate that recoil a little bit and make it less noticeable. For the primary accessory you get the bipod by default, which is probably a more suitable attachment for LMGs, but I personally find myself more of a mobile player and I don't really make the most of the bipod, in that whenever I run into a group of bad guys I never really have time to go prone and deploy the bipod. I did manage to get a couple of good clips with the bipod though when I was ready and waiting behind some cover with the bipod deployed, but for a more aggressive playstyle I'd recommend the foregrip, which will help eliminate the PKP's pretty large side-to-side recoil. The foregrip attachment does make it slightly more inaccurate at long range, but considering the recoil of the PKP anyway, I don't think it's really going to make that much difference. Even when firing just 1 or 2 shots at a time, it can be pretty difficult landing those shots at long range. But at least the foregrip will help, particularly at close range, and it's going to allow you to take down targets while in a standing position and on the move. So for the secondary accessory, one of the attachments that's going to help decrease the recoil of the weapon is going to be one of the most crucial, and luckily we get the flash suppressor first after just 20 kills. The flash suppressor and suppressor both do a great job of eliminating recoil. The only difference is that you get the flash suppressor after 20 kills and the suppressor after 90 kills. Between them you've got the extended mags at 30 kills, which you don't really need when you've got 100 rounds to spare as standard. Then there's the tactical light and laser sight, which can be pretty handy in certain situations, but for all round gaming I'd definitely go with the flash suppressor for that decreased recoil. As the name suggests, the flash suppressor is also going to help eliminate that muzzle flash to help you stay on target when firing those never ending rounds from your LMG. So that's about it for my guide to the PKP Pecheneg in Battlefield 3. Let me know if you are a fan of this weapon down in the comments, and if you are a fan of this weapon or if you just enjoyed my video, please drop me a like to help share the video with others and just to give my videos overall more widespread exposure. Don't forget to check out the link to the playlist down in the description just in case you might have missed some of the previous episodes in this series. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook if you want the heads up on new uploads. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you all later.